Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome to the channel. Uh, I've done two of these so far. I tried to predict both divisions from the Western Conference, and now I'm doing the Eastern Conference. And in the East, what we're going to start with, we're going to start out with the Metropolitan Division, trying to predict who will finish where in the Metro Division. Now, this division is last year. It was kind of, it was kind of called the Metropolitan because it wasn't that great. You had just really a couple of teams that were decent and just kind of meh. But still, this is an interesting division. It definitely will be an interesting division to try to figure out. And I know the team that I think I have finishing eighth. Now there's definitely no pressure on them, and I think they're going to have something to play for, especially with the unfortunate passing of Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew, and that's Columbus. The Blue Jackets, I think, are. I mean, they're not a great. I mean, they're not a great team. They're not fantastic. It'll be interesting to see how they play. Especially after the tragic death of Johnny Hockey and his brother. And I got to think at some point they'll probably retire his number, which I think would be a pretty cool thing to do in Columbus. But Columbus, they're not going to really have any pressure on them. But it will be real easy to cheer for them to be successful. So, hopefully finishing eighth. Hopefully they won't finish eighth. I mean, will they be a playoff team? No. But, hopefully they'll be a little better. Hopefully they'll be a little better, especially a little better from last year. And because, like I said, they do have something this year to play for. The team I think that is going to finish seventh. Now, this one's tough because they've got a lot of talent. They really do. But they can't seem to put it together. And honestly, this year, I mean, they missed the playoffs again. And I think they take an even further step back, unfortunately. Pittsburgh. The Penguins, seventh is, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong on them. I really wouldn't. Because that's part of the fun of trying to predict these is, to be wrong, because you almost want to be wrong. Pittsburgh is just, I mean, they seem to be getting further and further away. And I just, right now they're kind of trending in the wrong direction. And it's, I don't know. I mean, what more can you say about Pittsburgh? I mean, I definitely could be wrong about them finishing seventh, but we'll have to wait and see. Finishing sixth, at least who I think will finish sixth. This was a team, they were in a playoff spot for a good chunk of the season, and then they fell. Then they just, toward the end of the season, they fell. They basically fell off a cliff. And that's the other team from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. So the Flyers. I have the Flyers finishing sixth in the Metro, and they're just. I mean, they have a lot of they've got good things. I mean, John Tortorella can get so much out of little. I mean, when there's not a whole lot to work with, somehow Tortorella can get something out of nothing. And he can always he got something out of that team that I mean, he had them in a playoff spot for. I mean, they came that close from making the playoffs. I mean, they just missed the playoffs by a couple of points, and it's because they fell back, and they couldn't seem to put it together down the stretch. But could I be wrong about Philadelphia? Of course I could. But for me, preseason, I have them 6th. Finishing 5th. This team is they're another one of those teams. They're like, could they compete for a playoff spot? They did make the playoffs last year. They didn't really show a whole heck of a lot because they absolutely got blitzkrieged in the first round. But they have this OV guy, Washington. They have this guy named Ovechkin who is trying to catch Wayne Gretzky and his scoring record, his goal scoring record. Obviously, I mean, I don't think he gets that this year, but you never know. Ovi's good at, putting, 50 goal seasons together when it doesn't look like he's going to. But, and again, Washington, they made the playoffs last year. They didn't do great. They got swept by the New York Rangers. Will they make the playoffs again this year? I don't know if they will or not. They might, they could. I think they'll be in that running for it. I don't really see them doing it. At least not this, I can see them missing it this year. Team I have finishing 4th. Now this team, they've always kind of, I mean, whenever they've made the playoffs, they're a team that you got to be aware of. You really got to be aware of because they can make some noise come playoff time. Not exactly the last couple of years, but I think, you never know. I think they could make the playoffs again, and you never know. They could create some havoc. The New York Islanders. So I have the Islanders finishing 4th, which could be a playoff spot. That could get them into the playoffs. And it'll be very interesting to see if they do make the playoffs. Where do they finish in the division? And if they make the playoffs, you always got to keep an eye on them. You always got to keep an eye on them because you never know how good they could be, because they always seem to put together some runs. I mean, they gave Carolina a heck of a run again last year. So I have them finishing 4th. We'll see if that comes to pass or not. Now the team that I have finishing 3rd, they really, really underachieved last year. I think now they're going to be healthy. They've got goaltending now. And I think they are going to be right back in the running for a playoff spot. And I think they are going to finish 3rd. And that is New Jersey. The Devils are a pretty good team. I think the Devils will be a much better team. Again, they have goaltending now. They've got Markstrom. They're going to be much. I think they're going to be much better. And I mean, nobody could believe where they finished last year. I mean, I was way off on them last year. I mean, I might be way off on them again this year. But it's a young team with a lot of good talent, and now they have the goaltending. So I think third is where New Jersey finishes. And, could I be wrong? Absolutely, I could be. I wouldn't mind if they finish first or second. Could they be down? Could they be over on this side? They could. Depends on, health and the goaltending, really. The team I have finishing second. Now, again, they were right there. They were right there in that race for the division win, for the division crown. They came up just a few points short, and I think they're going to end up in that same spot this year again, too. In second, I have Carolina. So the Hurricanes, I think, finished second. And again, they're a team that can make some noise. They're a good team. They just they have a little issue with success and trying to make some noise come playoff time. I mean, they got to the second round and they got just again they fell behind 3-0 to the New York Rangers. They came back to make it 3-2. It looked like they were going to force a Game 7 and really potentially make some noise, and then they kind of blew it, and the Rangers took them out. Will they make that kind of run again this next year? I mean, they certainly could. Rod Brind'Amour is behind the bench. You got Sebastian Aho. You've got some good talent on that team, and we'll see what Carolina can do. We'll see if maybe they can overtake this team for number one in the Metro Division. I have the New York Rangers finishing first, though. The Rangers are, I still wonder how in the world I had the New York Rangers beating the Florida Panthers in my playoff bracket. I guess I was just seeing how good the Rangers looked and was thinking, this is a team that looks amazing. And that's kind of where I think my headspace was at, because then watching, you go and you watch that series back. The Rangers won 2 games in that series, but man, those 2 games, even those 2 games, Florida they put a pounding on them. But they've got Shesterkin in goal. They've got Kreider. They've got a lot of good talent. Panarin, Rempe. Could the Rangers Can the Rangers get back to the conference final again? We'll have to see. But I have them finishing first in the Metro Division. Let me know in the comments section where you think these teams will finish from 1 to 8 or 1 to 8. Hello, duh. There's 8 teams in the division. Hello, of course, 1 to 8. Who finishes in first? What order do you have these 8 teams in the Metro Division? Let me know in the comments section. If you would please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let your friends know about the channel. Hell, let family know about the channel. Let perfect strangers know about the channel. And if you want to share this video or any of the other videos, the other division prediction videos, or any other video from the channel, if you want to share them with whoever you would like, with friends, with family, with complete strangers, go right ahead. That would be fun. That would be fantastic. I would greatly appreciate it. And again, these are fun. These are fun to do. These are fun to do. And the last division that I have is the Atlantic Division. I will look that over and try to predict who finishes where in that one. So again, let me know in the comments section where you think the Metro Division, what the standings will be, who finishes where. Hit like and subscribe. Let all your friends know. Share the videos. It would be greatly appreciated. It would be absolutely awesome. And yeah, 3 divisions down, 1 to go. See you guys later.